program, which each building now has a version of that program, is specifically for students with an IEP, meaning they're eligible for services, they have some type of educational disability which impacts them, and therefore they're eligible for a range of program options, and BSP is a program within the district for a student with an IEP. Bartley Academy is an alternative program for students who don't have an IEP, although if you have an IEP and you can benefit from Bartley, you can certainly be in that program or placed in that program. So it's for students that are not performing to their potential, students that are disaffected, students that are failing classes, students whose attendance is significantly off. And this is a way to, with smaller class size, it's a morning program, so it's half day. Students in the afternoon can then access another range of programs, school of technology, a work setting. But this is a program in district, don't necessarily have to have an IEP, and it's an alternative to that program. And it's for all students within the district.
And statute says that a district, if it has need, must offer an alternative program. When there has been a need, we have offered it. In the past few years, the numbers were small enough that those needs were met by out-of-district placements. So this is something that's very cost-effective. It keeps students in district, and it serves the state directors for having those sort of an alternative education available to students.
The Chase Blackboard program, I know you told us about that the last meeting. Tom, did you say that your daughter got Chase's autograph?
Yes, yes, you did.
And it sounded like the presentation was great, and we will be able to expand it in the future?
Yeah, it was a pilot program, and so we really ran it for juniors at Mendham High School through the health classes, those who were taking it in the fourth quarter, and through our REACH students who are juniors in this building at Central. We needed to find a time where we could offer it to enough students, and the culminating activity was to have Chase Blackburn. We were hoping to get him, and he actually was able to get here in each building. And he spoke about not having the courage at the time when he was growing up to stand up to bullies who were bullying somebody else, that he could have changed maybe the life of that person who was targeted. He didn't have the courage at the time. So it was really an inspirational talk about, you still have time, you can find the courage now. And I thought he did a very nice job. They're just getting this program going, but when we piloted it, we're just 2 of 5 schools across the country that were part of this pilot, and they're looking to go nationwide in the fall.
And when they go nationwide, it will cost a great deal of money to have this. This was presented to the school for free.
Which is true. I mean, there'll be a cost to districts next year after they revise it and revamp it. That's about it. So it was a win-win. For us and for them, we learned a little bit about what they were doing. They got a chance to get a lot of feedback from us, so it was a win-win.
Well, thank you very much for doing this, and for the domes that drive by here every day, and even though I'll make this again next week.
Can I just one more question about Bartley? Is that staffed by existing staff? Existing staff teaching at Bartley Academy?
Yes, we don't hire additional teachers. What happens is it winds up absorbing additional sections. So what you'll be seeing in an upcoming board meeting is an approval for some 6th period sections that we need to finance those sections, but not hire additional staff.
And how many staff and students are involved in that? Will be involved this year, I guess.
They're projecting that about 18 students will be recommended. Each student goes
The next
exactly for September of 2011 for the 2011-12 school year. But then there's an application process. They're actually interviewed, and probably between 10 and 12 will actually be enrolled in the program in September. And that's an average number for a given school year. That 10 or 12, and then some are added, some go. There's sort of a transient population in a sense. In terms of staffing, there's really only one 6th period for an adaptive phys ed.
No, however, there are other 6 periods in the other areas that are not.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. So other than that, though, the staffing for it would be internal. We're not hiring outside for the
And
program.
the adaptive phys ed, we are financing through FEDA dollars.
Correct, because students with an IEP and not will both be accessing that section.
So there are no staff that are 100% dedicated to Bartley?
No.
No. So they're teaching other sections in the general program, and then they'll get a section for Barton, for English, math, etc.
And is it voluntary for all the students?
They're recommended, and yes, nobody has to be in the program. They're not required, but you educate the student, you educate the parent on the benefits, and you hope that they buy in. You want them to buy in and go in, and if they do, the chances for success are that much greater.
Any other questions? Then we will open to the public at this time. Please state your name and town and keep your questions or comments to 5 minutes or less. Mr. Sinati, I saw your hand go. Pardon.
Matt Sonati, Westmoreland Regional High School District. About 4 months ago, we as an association came here because we were very concerned about our contract, and we asked you, I'm sure you remember, numerous questions about what we could do to get this contract passed. Was it something on performance that you as a board were unsatisfied? And it seems to be that the answer always resoundingly was no. It was nothing that we were doing. You were very satisfied with the job that we as teachers are doing with your children and helping the school district. What seemed to be the issue that you indicated was, although you have utmost respect for us and that you really think we're doing this excellent job, the issue was that the budget had not passed the year before, and that it would really be helpful if the budget passed this year in order for us to move along with negotiations and get a contract and get it settled very quickly. So we took up that call, and many of my colleagues helped you with that. Both Dr. Clemens and Mr. Kling came and helped Dr. DiBattista to create a pamphlet that went out to the public to inform them of all the highlights and the benefits of your budget. We also, as an association, made numerous calls to our NGA local members who live in district to tell them that it's important to get out there and vote. And so as a result of those things, your budget passed. What I'm concerned about, what I don't understand is, more than a month has gone by since that budget passed, and we still do not have a contract. So I would like to know, why do we not have a contract?
I'm a resident of Mendham Township. I'm also the lead teacher of science and technology at Mendham High School. I'm also a 20-year resident of Mendham and Chester Township. And I'm also the parent of a 2009 graduate of Mendham High School. And I'd like to say that
Sat over here.
that's right, we sat right where Madison is now. Maddie was the student rep to the board from Mendham High School. But I would like to say that going on 2.5 years now without a contract, I'm concerned as a teacher, as someone who's interested in the students in the school, as a resident. I think the fact that we don't have a contract now is harming everyone who's interested in public education in this district. And I think it's really time that the board sit down and respond to our proposal and get this done. In particular, this is my first year as lead teacher, and one of the responsibilities I have now is to participate in the hiring of new teachers. And when you don't have a contract for 2.5 years, when the starting salaries are not really competitive with similarly situated districts, it makes it difficult to get new teachers, specifically in sciences. We've been very lucky recently to get some excellent new teachers in the science department. But I don't think we can count on that continuing. So again, I would urge the board to come to a contract now. It's really to benefit taxpayers, parents, the students, and the teachers. And on a separate note, I'd like to say that as someone who's lived in Chester and Mendham for 20 years, I know Jim Johnson has been on the board in Chester Township. He's on the board in the region now. And to the extent we may have differences on contract issues, I know Mr. Johnson is interested in good public education. And I'd like to say that, in my opinion, the recall effort in town now directed at Mr. Johnson is very misguided and counterproductive. And I'd like to just publicly state my support for that. Thank you.
Dave Godding from Mendon Borough. I think I might have picked the wrong meeting to come to.
No longer.
Is everyone here to support Ben Mitchell, a teacher who's not coming back next year?
Yes.
I learned about it about a week and a half ago.
Could you address the board, please?
I learned about it about a week and a half ago. I was shocked by it. I think he's finishing his third year. And personally, my son was a freshman his first year, was kind of lost in the high school. I had meetings with all the academic teachers and asked, what could you do? And they tried to help a little bit. And Ben Mitchell said, I don't have any problems with Sam. Let me take him under my wing. And he said, I'd like him to join robotics. I said, well, that's good, but he's not going because I asked him. He goes, fine. That day he asked him, hey, Sam, come on by, join robotics. And he's been going ever since. And it's been a big change in my son's life. Academics, he's a smart guy, my son, but he really likes the mechanical thing. Maybe English and physics won't be his thing, but the robotics will be, and it may be a career for him. So I'm looking at a new teacher who's come in, who's done a lot of good things in a club. He's grown it from about 3 to 30, and I'm looking at someone who's been important in my child's life and a lot of other kids' lives, and I'm hoping that the board will take a look at this and say maybe there's more to Ben Mitchell than we're looking at academically. He is new, he's going to have some rough patches, and I look at him and say this is the guy we want to keep. He's in early, he's out late, he keeps his door open for the kids, it's a little haven for them. And the response I got back from some of the administration was, well, look, we're focusing on academics. That's good, but let's not forget the other part of school. If you take away, I was a Mendham High graduate, if you take away the things I did extracurricularly, it wouldn't be the same experience. And I would like the board potentially to open the idea of having another look at this with Mr. Mitchell. And hopefully there are some other parents that can, and students, we have some students here for him who can speak on it. Thank you.
I'd just like to say that this is a personnel matter, we can't discuss this. Mr. Mitchell has his rights, which he is exercising. Other than that, the district will continue to support robotics and engineering programs.
I don't think you can possibly get a teacher who's that devoted
Could you
to
state your
the
name
kids.
and town, please?
I'm sorry, what?
Name and town, please.
Jess Beckerman, Mendham Township. I don't really think you can get another teacher that would be that devoted to these kids. He's devoted in his classrooms, he's devoted in his robotics program, and you will not find another teacher that is that devoted to these kids and gives his all to them. And it's very upsetting to all the people who are involved. And I can't imagine what he could have done that you could let somebody like that go, when you won't find anybody who will open their doors first thing in the morning for any kid who wants to come in there and work, and any kid who wants to stay after and who wants to work, and he gives them so much support. And I think it is such a shame that you just decided to let him go. I don't know what the reason is, but I can't imagine it was a good enough reason to let him go. And I think you have a lot of people here who probably would like to do it, but I don't know if they're able to. But I really think that you didn't make the right decision at all.